Let's move on into the main service for today. We're in Proverbs chapter 24, 1 through 10. Proverbs chapter 24, 1 through 10. Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them. For their heart desires violence, and their lips talk of troublemaking. Through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong. Yes, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel you will wage your own war. And in a multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too lofty for a fool. He does not open his mouth in the gate. He who plots to do evil will be called a schemer. The devising of foolishness is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to men. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Dine do yada shoni ado yinchide bish njilde na ado ninzine hala do atid بجيبي تخلونغو ندها آدو إدلا يا يدالتي خدزا بكن نيتا آدو إكتي بإكتيتيه بنلتزلغو نيتا A B aha A B aha ato achodo nisko ish Hozin be GDT ni danlini inda ida danjoni khatilpi yeah dene khoya dene khoyani bitzil ni bel hozini bitzil banas ani khala khotza be nandnes trago benen ango Deepa, deepa. Ado o khayui khot go danini kholonge khassi khasa Do achaliani echot za ye o nsek hos. Dan de tinke, dan da de tinke do yalt hit da do. Do yasho adesh neitnesen wo na rai. Be Adela Be Adelahi Bit Nigo Bit Nido Be Adelahi Bit Nido Do Achayam Ben Zen Sahakes Bahagi at Ado de ne na yishahi de ne do bish nda. So Ado de ne anast niya de ne do bish do bish nda ish dinda. Big eight ho nihi nikil toko na Big eight ho ni hikil toko na kako tseda na kako tseda do nitzilda. Do not be envious of evil men. The neck at what ado yin no sachi. That word in the Hebrew, envious, nanigi, it means to be jealous. Don't be jealous of evil men. And that word evil from the Hebrew that got translated evil, the Hebrew word that got used was wicked. Wickedness, nanigi. In the wisdom literature, that word wicked, he uses it for someone that says, I want nothing to do with God. That's who he calls wicked. He says, don't be jealous of men that don't want anything to do with God. Don't be jealous of them, he says. Because when God deals with us, he deals with us in our inward parts. So he goes to the root of the matter and he says, don't be envious or don't be jealous of men that have sworn off God and don't want anything to do with God. Don't be jealous of them for that. Nor desire to be with them. That word desire comes from the Hebrew word that means to yearn for, to wish for, to long for, or to crave. E digin a gena dehi. But I aje a tra a quachit ele ado ninzene. Ado batan nene. Jo e hono yina. That's wisdom. What's that? Godly wisdom. For their minds devise violence. They begin to they need that other bins and egg alba in nothing dicht. Ben Zakes, Kodabi Sazini has ade from within inside of them with that word mind. Ninigi, the Hebrew word that got used for mind, it means the inner man. Sazini has ade Tzeda a titol nicht eya. We don't realize what God sees in the inner man in a person who wants nothing to do with God, and their intentions and their plans and their every scheme is to hurt, oppress, or isolation, desolation, destruction. We don't realize that. But God sees in there is zini. Has ad dohot id has ad jake ad has ad the yene ad or your ing or hain all they have in their intentions and every thought that they have is violence or destruction or oppression. That's why he's saying don't desire or crave or long to be with them. And their lips talk trouble. Ashon hadat zehende. Khalid ego. The nebich nada di yil nasla. Oh, what egot e. That bizarre. By wisdom, he switches over. He says, by wisdom, a house is built. Din teti digin bebehot zagi benachokola e ya hawanit jonida. What is the symbol of stability? Jo e hawan has ag. They know what it is to be cared for. And by understanding, it is established. And their understanding, as they grasp a hold of the wisdom of God, it becomes a reality. The concept of stability from God, ya the yin the shop at stade or the kin aidena ango hajoyin et the yin bit that igi behuyon aqua aha and equal. It creates that concept of security and stability and brings it into fruition and makes it a reality. Woo! And by understanding, it is established. That word established, it means, the Hebrew word that was used there means to be fixed or to be firm, to be stable, to be unmovable. Doch is doch not ego a nego hoch zilgo huido a jonila. And by knowledge the rooms are filled. That word knowledge from the Hebrew, the Hebrew word that got translated knowledge, it means wisdom, godly wisdom, or discernment, or understanding. The yin bidadet the yin bebe hot za the fete tito don nede was ehos zingo was wet behos zingo even natural in dawis ago kinit ane be yekone that leni be khata do bin jonila are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. That word precious, ninigi, means rare or splendid. Da'ilini. And pleasant, ninigi, the Hebrew word, means to be lovely or delightful. And the word riches, it brings out the idea of wealth or sufficiency. Dotskishko. Atishi. Nzga gota denai. Epego khawde doni jonina. Verse 5, a wise man is strong, and a man of knowledge increases power. That word wise, nigo translate nigi lagi, it's a certain wise man. It's a man that has taken divine wisdom, digin bebe hot zagi ne di lago, digi chios ingo. Divinely enabled learning. Digin de obede na ago ben lago, yunachi bi rahayeti kiko beschos ai. De ne hot elbe ena nicht i. Why is that? Because that power that's in his life, that's true strength, that's true power. A man of knowledge, and a man of knowledge increases power. That word knowledge from the Hebrew, it means the word that was used from the Hebrew, it means divine wisdom, discernment, or understanding. Again, that same concept. It increases. That word increases. The Hebrew word that was used there, it means to fortify or to harden or make strong. Yati yin bebe hot zanchon ingo. Bebe anenigi betigi tingo kwa inaji ingo go. Bebe atzgiligi don nede. Do his do snart ego do benehot ego atzgil. It becomes that person's. If we could learn to take the wisdom that comes from God, His power becomes established. It becomes evident in a person's life. Verse 6, for by wise guidance you will wage war. That word, wise guidance, he used the same word twice. The same word, whenever that happens in the Hebrew, it draws the person's attention. It's an emphatic statement. It's like having something that jumps out at you, grabs your attention. Pay attention right here. And so that's what he's doing. He's telling him, pay careful attention to this. That word, wise guidance, it conveys the idea of direction or counsel. And it's an old Hebrew nautical term. And it brings out the idea of rope pulling. When they would help to steer a ship through a narrow channel, they would attach ropes to the sides of the ship so that they would guide it. One side would pull it, and then the other side to correct it, pull it, correct it. They could go through a narrow channel. And that word that was used is rope pulling. Wise counsel. Advise and ego. If you get that type of advice or godly wisdom, you can wage war with that type of godly counsel. And in abundance of counselors, there is victory. Taking godly wisdom, advise having input, having a lot of godly advice. There is victory, Nila. And that word victory, it means salvation or deliverance, the Hebrew word that was used. It'll be God working, doing that, bringing that about. Verse 7, wisdom is too exalted for a fool. The fool, and that's the same word that for someone that says, I want nothing to do with God. a fool. And then the word that he uses for wisdom is divinely inspired or divinely enabled, skillful, godly wisdom. Ed, you see, ed. Wisdom is too lofty, too high, too exalted. He does not open his mouth at the gate. See, in this culture, one main gate that would get closed at night. The wise leaders of that town or that village, that community, they would meet up at the gate to discuss wisdom, to discuss any legal matters. That's what he's referring to. So it pays to be someone that says, I want God's wisdom in my life. See? Yeah, and it's not going to be coming from the person, it's going to be coming from him going to God and saying, I want your wisdom. Verse 8, he who plans to do evil, men will call a schemer. The net gaat op seed go op sneedonish. Nah gizi. People are really observant. God, yo hata seed. Kheda nah giz go. At zago nah ne oda. I thought the nebish beta husband. People know. They think for themselves. And he's saying the one who plans out schemes and he does things that are contrary or not approved by God. He's a schemer. Verse 9, the devising of folly is sin. Not inko bohot bini yebho jo asko. Docha yat eya. Which arango. A bank it eight. It is sin, he says. In God's name. Hey, the ado when he yane betjenigo. Bebisne lingo. E bangi o niklet. That word sin, nigo translate ilagi, means sinful or conduct that's due or that's worth punishment. And the scoffer is an abomination to men. That word scoffer, to make fun of or to deride, o anahati, khayda, o anahti, o idloko. The neta nesh ingo hatasigo. O da just a hard of a lake, people say things, we've heard that, you know. People are reasonable. They know when someone is trying to get something over on them. So what is he saying? Be wise. What is that? But learn to use the wisdom that comes from God. If you are slack in the day of distress, your strength is limited. It is not good. When things get sketchy and very out of control, if you are slack, one of the translate means that word from the Hebrew that got translated slack, it means to sink or relax or falter. In time of trouble, when you're needed there to be actively involved in guiding and directing and backing away from that difficult time, in that difficult time, your strength is limited, Nina. Is limited. And that word limited, Nigo translate the Hebrew word that got used, it means to be narrow, tight, or constricted. You see, sometimes we need to be outspoken. We need to speak the things of God. When the things of God are being trampled, when they're being made fun of, it will speak up. Say something. Otherwise, it can be restricted. So learn to stand up for the things that are righteous, that are godly. Stand up for those. Be outspoken about that. The things that are godly. Okay? Thank you for being a part. We're talking about godly wisdom. We need to stand up for those. Thank you. Yeah.